Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. I really appreciate it and I love your comments. So I'm especially interested to hear what you think about this movie and if you're going to see it in the movie theaters. So the movie I'm reviewing today is called Unhinged. It's a great name for this movie. And the big news is that it's actually opening in theaters today. So my question for you is, are you going to go to the theaters? Is it even worth going to the theaters to see this movie? Well, I'll tell you what I think. First of all, the movie is rated R. It's an hour and 30 minutes. And the movie review mom grade I'm giving it is a B minus. So I don't know if that sounds like worth running to the theaters and risking COVID or what. But anyway, let me tell you why I gave it that grade. First of all, in a quick nutshell, the movie stars Academy Award winning Russell Crowe. And honestly, I thought he did a really great job as this crazy man who's completely unhinged. It's a gripping road rage drama, and it was written by Carl Ellsworth and directed by Derek Bort. Also called a psycho thriller, this movie will make you wonder what happened to civility and common courtesy and respect in the world today. And as you know, especially if you live here in America, things are getting crazy. I thought that when the pandemic first started and we were quarantined, that everybody was learning about what was most important in life and everybody was feeling love. And wow, that changed on a dime. At least here in the United States, we've got riots and anger and people just going crazy. And so I think maybe this movie is worth a watch for everyone, just simply to remember to be kind and patient with each other. Everyone is experiencing a bad day, and that's kind of what this movie is a woman honks at a guy who didn't go when the green light turned on at a stoplight, and the road rage ensues. And he's committed to making her know what a real bad day is all about. But here's the deal, it all starts with you. Kindness begins with you. The film's release actually kept getting pushed back because of the pandemic. And so, as I mentioned, it's opening in theaters. And I received actually a screener from the studio so that I could watch it from the safety and comfort of my own home, which I loved. So I'm hoping that they'll also release it online for streaming for those who don't feel like they want to go out to the theaters just yet. Uh, Due to brutal violence, this is not a movie for everyone. Not everybody's going to enjoy the senseless violence and crazy action, but I'm jumping ahead of myself. Uh, Let me give you some tips for parents. So it starts off, the mildest thing is some people flip the bird in a video montage at the beginning. People are being really ugly to each other. And then the movie starts, and there's just lots of profanity, tons of F bombs, and disturbing scenes of death and destruction, but mostly brutal violence, especially violence of innocent people, of this crazy man, as I mentioned. Some themes are obviously road rage, aggression, anger, and how you should control it. Our words and actions absolutely have consequences. And in fact, that's something that Russell Crowe's character tells somebody. And it's true. He also tries to teach someone the art of a courtesy tap. You know, if you're sitting at a red light and the light turns green, you don't go, "Rah," you just go beep, beep, just to let them know, wake up, or they might be looking at their cell phone or something like that. So you don't have to get all instantly angry when people are not moving as fast as you want them to. And in fact, it's funny because I read several reviews of people who did see it in theaters around the world where it was released a little bit earlier than here in the United States. And they said that on their way home from the theater, they wanted to honk the horn at somebody and they chose not to after watching this movie, which I thought was kind of funny. A couple of other themes are learn how to apologize. If you're wrong, just say, I'm sorry. Sometimes that's all people want is just a sincere apology from you. And then let bygones be got bygones, or whatever that cliche is. And then the last theme I would say would be violence and retribution. Just because somebody is ugly or mean doesn't give you permission to be violent and to seek revenge and retribution. There are other ways of handling it, like forgiveness. Okay, but I digress. Things that I really liked about the movie is, first of all, I appreciate murder scenes when I don't have to watch the gore, but I know what's going on because of the audio. It's so much more terrifying to me. So there are a few occasions where in the movie you don't see what's happening, but you know what's happening and it's awful. And then there are other movies where you have to see the blood and the gore, and I'm just like, ugh. Here's a fun fact. The trailer features a cover of Nirvana's heart-shaped box from their 1993 album called In Utero. So the music is intense. The sound effects are actually really good, and the music is good as well. Now, writer Carl Ellsworth also wrote Disturbia and Red Eye, both super intense movies. And like those, this movie will grab your attention and keep you on the edge of your seat pretty much from beginning to end. The tension really is nonstop. And people have commented on the luxury that this writer had because the character just disregards any legality or civility. He does whatever he wants. He doesn't care about the consequences. And so to write for a character like that is probably pretty freeing, and he probably enjoyed that process. I liked seeing Jimmy Simpson in the movie. However, there are two main characters who are in almost all of the action scenes. But again, it was just nice to see him. The female protagonist, however, in the story is not very likable. She's kind of a mess. And so the character you feel the most sympathy for is her son. He's got to put up with both of his parents who are a mess in the movie, and you don't want him to get hurt. Of course, you don't want anybody to get hurt, but with her, you're just thinking, well, she's kind of a jerk. All she had to do was apologize and be kind, and she could have avoided a lot of drama and trauma. I don't want to give you spoilers, but anyway, there's this super cheesy and cringe-worthy line towards the end of the movie that is just going to make you laugh out loud and kind of remind you of some of these action bad guy villain movies from the 80s and early 90s. I mean, it literally made me laugh out loud, and hopefully you'll get a kick out of it instead of roll your eyes and cringe. But some people and critics are saying that the video montage at the very beginning was unnecessary, but I actually thought it made a really good point and set the environment for viewing this movie. It shows how the world has just gone crazy, and it was filmed, or this video montage was actually a collection of things before 2020 hit. And then finally, the stunt work on the car crashes and the chase scenes was really well done. Now, some quick little survival tips that you learn in this movie is, first of all, always have a plan B. And if a crazy person is stalking you, go straight to the police department. Always have your chargers for your cell phone and your tablet near you. Courtesy tap to people. Everyone is on the edge during this pandemic and quarantine period, so just chill. Don't make noise when you're hiding from a bad guy. Don't be so quick to honk your horn when you're annoyed with drivers around you. You don't know what their day has been like. And if someone near you starts to get violent, run. Don't stick around to film it on your cell phone. Just saying. Now, some things that I didn't like about the movie. And first of all, Russell Crowe sure has packed on the weight. But then again, haven't we all during this quarantine? I think I packed on 10 pounds. I'm just now getting it off. It's been crazy. We reach for comfort food. We're home, we're near the refrigerator, Anyway, then again, I don't know if he gained weight for this role or not, but it definitely gives heft to his character in a very physical and emotional way. Some scenes were kind of unrealistic and unbelievable. And I don't want to give you any spoilers, but sometimes you're just going to be going, come on. And then some things don't quite make sense. Like you're going to be going, wait a minute, come on. And again, I don't want to give you any spoilers. Most characters in the movie make terrible decisions, and it's super frustrating to watch. But I admit it's also engaging because you want to yell no at the screen. And I like movies that bring out, verbal engagement in movies from myself. It actually would be kind of fun to watch this in the theater and to listen to the audience's reactions as everybody's going, ah. Now, there is brutal violence on women and children in the movie. Not okay. It's kind of unbelievable. And I know reviewers who actually turned off the movie and didn't finish watching it because of that. Another thing that's a little bit frustrating for viewers is you don't really get a backstory on this Russell Crowe character. In that regard, he's just kind of this insane villain from other horror slasher movies that you don't really understand what their motivation is other than they're just really, really bad, crazy psychos. Now, there's a moment in a car scene where there's obvious dubbing going on, where, the audio doesn't match the lips that are moving. And so I just kind of was surprised by that. There's also another moment in the movie when people are sitting around when Russell Crowe goes nuclear and they just continue eating. And I'm like, what? What the heck? Run, get out of there, which was why I included that in the survival tips that you learn in this movie. Now, there's an interesting line that I wanted to share, and that was during the initial video montage at the beginning of the movie. And somebody says, we're going backward, referring to as a society, we're not becoming more civilized and with a greater love and appreciation and tolerance for each other. We're going backward. We're becoming animals. And you see that in that video montage, and you're just like, whoa. So the movie is a good reminder to simply be more patient and kind out there, truly. Now, the movie recommendations that I wanted to give you are the movie Falling Down and another movie by Spielberg called Duel that you might not have seen. It was a long time ago. They're very, very intense. And then another movie that came to my mind was Changing Lanes. So be sure and click down below to get the links to those movies. Most of them are free. Sometimes you can buy the DVD or pay for the streaming, and then it helps support my channel. And I really appreciate that. All right, that's it for my review. I hope you're safe and healthy and kind out there. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.